Alright, thought I'd do a quick update on my various mycelium experiments. And here, I don't know how well this is going to show up. I added some more cardboard to the king oyster mushroom mycelium I had growing. Unfortunately, there are spots, let me see how visible this is. It's hard to see on my camera. Yeah, I don't know if you can see those little spots right there on the cardboard. Those little green spots. That's contamination. That's trichodermia or whatever it's called. And there's a few other spots that are hard to see. One of the advantages of having a clear plastic cover on a container that you're using is you can see the contamination before you open it up, so that you don't, the moment you open a container like this, you are spreading those spores into your environment. So this is going to go outside, and I'll dispose of this and sterilize it using a bleach solution outside. I'm not even going to open that one up. With a container like this, you can't see what you got until you open it up. So if there's contamination, you could spread the contamination out. This actually looks pretty good. This is the mycelium growing on torn up grocery bags. And as you can see, the mycelium has spread pretty well through this, and I think this is about ready to stick in some kind of media. This is oyster mushrooms on bags. And let's see, this is gray oyster mushrooms on egg cartons. Egg cartons seem to work fairly well. I don't know how well it shows up here, but there's a lot of white in this. Let's see if I can put this where it's a little more visible. I'll just pick it up. Yeah, the mycelium growth is kind of, it's got mycelium all through it, but it doesn't seem to be continuing to grow. So it's good for starting it, but it doesn't seem to like to grow in it very well once it's going. At least with this oyster mushroom. Let's see. Here's another one in a clear blister pack, yellow oyster mushrooms, and as you can see that this is quite white with mycelium. And today is May 22nd, and I started these on March 22nd, so 2 full months. You can see there's quite a nice mycelial growth in this. Pull this apart. Yeah, now inside that is nice mycelial growth. How well that shows up. You can see the mycelium running from the bits all over the interior of this. And I think what I'm going to do with this is I've got some coffee grounds, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little coffee grounds, and I sterilized my hands earlier, and these coffee grounds I've kept in the refrigerator, so they should be in pretty good shape. So I'm going to put a little coffee grounds in there and see if the mycelium will grow into that, and I'll do a follow-up on that later on. And I've got another yellow oyster mushroom on pieces of egg carton cardboard. Yeah, I've got some. This is, incidentally, I always keep a napkin soaked in alcohol with me when I'm doing this to keep surfaces clean and reduce the risk of contamination. And this stuff, it's growing all over the lid, and it has thoroughly colonized these egg carton bits. Basically a shredded egg carton. There. As you can see inside of there, the mycelium is running very aggressively in there. So I'm going to introduce that into some kind of growing medium in the near future. And this particular container, that wasn't smart. Come on. It's very hard to open, and I just put it together wrong. Is a lot more airtight than most of the ones that I use, and it seems to have done better than the ones that allow for more air to get into it. So I'm not sure if it's a humidity issue or if it just grows better with lower fresh air exchange. So that's oh, I also have some others here, and I wanted to save till last because I'm pretty sure I've got contamination in these. This is the straw with coffee grounds that I put in with some oyster mushroom. You can see there's a little bit of mycelium still surviving in here, but not much. And I've seen some mycelium on some of the straw, but it just doesn't seem to be spreading very well in this. And I think partially that's because it's loose, and every time I pick it up, it moves around, breaks the mycelial connections. This one, oyster mushrooms, mycelium under straw with coffee grounds. As you can see through the container lid, there's some pretty good myceliation in various parts of this, but it hasn't covered the entire thing, and it's probably not going to show up real well in the camera, but I can see some. Maybe you can see it right there.